Hello and welcome to our tutorials on GrandPrix Race Manager. In this tutorial, we're going to give you a general rundown of using this software to run your race. This tutorial is for version 24. However, much of the information that we will cover does apply to other versions of the software. As we will just be doing a high-level view of the software, we do recommend that you watch all our tutorial videos that will go into much more detail for each step of using the software. Those videos provide tips and tricks to make running your race easier. Now, on to the software overview. When you first start up the software, you will see a black screen open up, showing some startup information. That screen will stay open for as long as the software is running. If you close that screen, it will shut down the software. If you don't want to see that screen, you can go ahead and minimize it. Note, Mac OS users will not see the black screen at software startup. Once the software has been initialized, the main screen will open up. If you have not yet entered your software serial number, you can do so on the serial number entry screen. You can either type in the serial number or copy and paste it into the box. If you type in the serial number, it doesn't matter if you do it in lowercase or uppercase. As you type, the dashes will automatically be added for you. Please note, serial numbers are product and version specific. It will not work to use the serial number from a different version of this software product, nor from one of our other software products. The reminder in red at the bottom is just that, a reminder to not have the software installed on more than 2 computers at any given time, to be in compliance with the software license. For this demonstration, I will just cancel out of this screen, which will leave the software running in demo mode. If you are just looking at trying out the software before you purchase a license, you can click on the No button. Note, the demo mode will show all pro features of the software. The light version of this software will not have as many features and options available for those users that want a simpler interface. For this demonstration, we will be using a modified version of the sample data file. The sample data file allows you to see the various screens with some simulated data in them and to do some basic testing of the software's features. Now, we are into the main screen. At the top of the main screen, there is a toolbar for easy access to some of the software's features. Below the toolbar is a set of tabs. You can click on a tab to see the data for that particular aspect of the software, as well as to access related features. At the bottom of the main screen is the status bar. On the left side of the status bar is the data file that is currently being used by the software and where it is located. On the right side of the status bar is the full version number of the software. Once you have entered a valid software serial number, you will see an indication that you are running either the Pro or Lite version. If you run into any problem with the software and need to call or email us for support, this is the version number that you will need to tell us that you are using. Let's go back up to the toolbar. The exit button will shut down the software. The home button will take you back to the overview tab. The data file button gives you easy access to create new data files, open existing ones, make backups and copies, as well as provides access to other data file features. The settings button gives you access to the various settings screens. Note, the track record settings and top time settings screens are Pro version only features, so you will not see those if you have the Lite version of the software. The delete button gives you the ability to delete out specific data, as well as giving you the nuclear option of deleting out all of the data in the file. The reports button will open up the reports screen, where you can generate any of the built-in reports. The window button will show any open windows. You can use this to display a window that had been minimized or give a window the focus. The help button gives you access to the software's help file and these other options. If you have not yet purchased a license or upgrade and entered the software serial number, you will see the purchase a software license and enter software serial number options. If you leave the check for updates on startup option selected, then every time the software is started, it will check our website to see if an update to this software version is available. Of course, that is assuming that you have an internet connection. We highly recommend that you run your race with the latest version update of the software. If you don't have that option selected, you can use the Check Now for Software Updates option to see if an update is available, or go to our website and download the update. The last help option is about GrandPrix Race Manager. If you have already entered your software serial number, you will see the serial number on the About screen. We do provide a link to our website on this screen if you need to check something or to contact us. The license button will display the software's license agreement for your reference. I'll go ahead and pull up the help file. This is an important resource to have at your disposal. The help file will open up in your default web browser. Note, you do not need to have an internet connection to view the help file. When you open up the help file from the toolbar's help button, you will see the outline of help topics. Click on a link to view that help section. To get back to the outline, you can go to the top or bottom of the page and click on the GrandPrix Race Manager help link. The table of contents section gives you links to the major sections of the particular help page that you are currently viewing. The quick search allows you to search the help file for specific topics. The index link takes you to the index for the glossary. If you click on a term in the index, it will give you an explanation for that term. If you want to print out parts of the help file, you would use the print feature of your browser. Please note the help file is quite large and is occasionally updated, so we do not recommend printing it. Let's return back to the main screen. The Tutorials button gives you access to the software's video tutorials that are posted online. Now, we'll do a quick overview of each tab on the main screen. The first tab is the Overview tab. This tab lists the basic steps of using the software. Some of these are optional and are labeled as such. Each step has a completed checkbox next to it. Those are there if you wish to keep track of your progress in the software. Some of these steps will be automatically checked for you as you complete it. With other steps, you will need to determine when you have completed it, and then you can manually check it off. Each step has a shortcut button to help you jump to that location. The first step is for you to create a data file. This file will store all of the data for your race. For each new race, you will create a new data file. The next 3 steps are going through the different settings screens to select your preferences. The software settings screen is to select the basic settings that affect how the software runs your race and displays data. The reports settings screen will affect how reports are generated. The hardware settings screen is where you can test your hardware with the software. The Define Competition Groups step is where you set up your different race groups. The Define Awards step is where you would enter your design and special speed awards. Note, this is an optional step. The Register Racers step is where you would enter all of your potential racers and then mark them once they have passed your check-in inspection. Once racers have passed inspection, you would create a schedule for each of your race groups. Then once you have your race schedules, you will run each of the heats in those schedules. The last step is to have your awards ceremony and use the software to display the results to your audience. It is not listed as a step, but from the software you can also generate various reports to document your race. That is a quick rundown of the steps to using the software to run your race. Below the list of steps, there are shortcut buttons for tutorial videos and sample files. The tutorial video list button is an easy way to get to these tutorial videos on our website. The sample files button will open up the folder that contains various sample files that you may find helpful. Next up is the Competition Groups tab. This tab is where you define your race groups and subgroups. Note, if you are not using subgroups, you will only see the group listing. There is a wizard button on this tab that you can use to quickly set up your groups and subgroups. You can also manually add, edit, and delete race groups and their subgroups. To see the subgroups for a particular group, you would select that group from the list of groups. To get help on this tab, you can either click on the small help button on the group or subgroup list or click on the bigger help button on the main toolbar. You can also press the F1 key to bring up the help file. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for step 5. Once you've created your competition groups and subgroups, you can go to the Registration tab to enter all of your racers. Note, the columns that are displayed on this tab are affected by what you have selected in the Software Settings screen. This tab and all of the remaining tabs are broken up into 3 parts. The left side is the organizational structure list, the middle is the list of records, based on the specific organizational structure level selected from the left side. The right side has other useful features for maintaining and displaying the tab's data. For the Registration tab, the left side is the list of rounds, groups and subgroups. If subgroups are not being used, then it will just be the list of rounds and groups. During the course of the race, if you add more rounds, you will see them added to the list. Above the list of racers is a small toolbar. This provides icons to navigate through the list to add, edit, and delete racers. The small toolbar also provides a handy search feature. The right side of the Registration tab has 3 sections. The first is the Bulk Operations section, which allows you to make certain changes to multiple racers all at once. The second is the Racer Data section. These are some totals provided for easy reference based on what you have selected from the left side of the tab. This section also contains import and export buttons for racer data. You can import your list of racers into the software from a CSV file. You can also export the racers from the software to a CSV file. Before race day, you can load all of your potential racers into the software. Then once you do your check-in inspection, you can easily check racers off as having passed inspection. Find the racer from the list and then simply click on the Passed box. You can also pass multiple racers at once using the Pass feature of the Bulk Operations section. Note, only racers that have been checked as passed inspection will be added to a race schedule. The third section is for Audience Display. It has a button that will open up the Rosters screen, where you can display the rosters to your audience. The audience can help you verify that you haven't missed any racers and that they are in the correct race group. The Audience Display section also has a slideshow button that opens up a screen that is similar to Rosters screen, but it will display racers one at a time with their photo. This is good to display before your race gets started, during your check-in process. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for Step 7. Once racers are registered and are checked off as having passed inspection, you can go to the Schedules tab. Here you can create and view the schedules for each of your competition groups. Note, the display of this tab is affected by what you have selected in the Software Settings screen. The left side has the list of rounds and the groups in those rounds. Note, scheduling is done strictly at the group level, so you will not see subgroups listed here. To view the schedule that has already been created for a particular race group, click on the group's name. If you are using Master Scheduling, which is a Pro version feature, you can click on the round number to see the master schedule for that round. Master Scheduling just takes the schedule for each of your groups and collates them together. You can keep your racers more engaged in the race by alternating which group is currently racing. To create a schedule, you would first select a race group from the list on the left, then select a scheduling method from the Create a Schedule section on the right. The software has 3 built-in schedulers. Perfect N-type schedules will make sure that every racer runs down each lane of the track. All racers will run the same number of times, and racers will face a variety of opponents. Lane rotation schedules are similar, with each racer running in each lane. However, they do not ensure that each racer faces a variety of opponents or that they need to remain engaged the whole race. Dynamic scheduling aims to have as many racers as possible win a heat. As racing progresses, with dynamic scheduling, the slower racers will race against other slower racers and faster racers against faster racers. Note, each of these schedulers do have their pros and cons. Those are covered in the software's help file. You can also build custom schedules using the manual option. Manual scheduling is only available with the Pro version of the software. Once you've selected a scheduling method, you would click on the Schedule button to create the schedule for the selected group. The Schedule Details section on the right allows you to get more information for the selected race group. Clicking on the Lane Use button will display how many times each racer will run in each lane. Clicking on the Opponents button will display what opponents each racer will face and how many times. Clicking on the Time Estimate button will show how much time it is estimated to take to run the schedules that currently exist. That estimate is based on how fast you think your race crew can run each heat. The Schedules data section shows some totals provided for easy reference. These are based on what group that you have selected over on the left section. The Schedules data section also allows you to import a schedule for the selected group or to export the displayed schedule. Note: importing and exporting schedules is only available with the Pro version of the software. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for Step 8. Once you have created your schedules, you will go to the Racing tab to run them. As with the other tabs, the display of this tab is affected by what you have selected in the software settings screen. You will click on the Racing button in the right side to open up the racing screen and run your race schedules. Once you've completed racing a round, you can view the heat results on this tab. The left side has the list of rounds and the groups in those rounds. To view the heat results for a particular race group, click on that group. Over in the right side, in the Show Heat Results section, you can select if you want to see all the heats, only the completed heats, or only the heats that have not yet been completed. Selecting the Not Completed option is an easy way to verify that you haven't missed any heats. You can stop racing after round 1 if you wish and hand out your awards, or you can run additional rounds, a round 2, round 3 and so on, as time permits. Note: with each new round that you run, you will be trimming down the number of racers advancing to that next round. This is the only form of elimination that the software supports. Within each round, every racer will have an equal opportunity to compete. If you have the Pro version, you do also have the option of running a Grand Finals round and a Grand Turtle round. A Grand Finals round is where you advance the top racers from 2 or more race groups to run in an overall race. A Grand Turtle round is where you advance the slowest racers from 2 or more race groups to run in an overall race. Clicking on the new round, Grand Finals, or Grand Turtle button will open up the corresponding wizard that will guide you through starting that round. If you wish to export the heat results data to a CSV file, you can click on the Export button. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for Step 9. Now, on to the Standings tab. This is where you can view the race standings. Note: the display of this tab is affected by what you have selected in the software settings screen. Standings can be viewed at 3 different levels: round, group, and subgroup. By clicking on the corresponding level on the left side, the standings will be displayed from first place on down to the last place racer. Over in the right side, it will show the scoring method currently in use in the Scoring Summary section. If you choose to use tiebreakers, you will see the Tiebreaker Key section. If there was a tie and it was broken by one of the tiebreakers, the tiebreaker code will be listed next to the finish place for the applicable racers, unless you have selected to hide the tiebreaker rules. If not all of the heats had been run for the selected level, there will be a warning in red over on the right section. To display the standings to the audience during your awards ceremony, click on the Standings button under the Audience Display section. The Standings data section will give you a count of how many racers and how many were excluded from the standings for the selected level. Note: excluding racers from the standings is a Pro version only feature. If you wish to export the standings to a CSV file, click on the Export button. If you are using our Derby Web add-on with the Pro version of this software, you can publish the standings to Derby Web at whatever point you choose by checking the Publish Standings box. This tab does have a built-in search feature that you can use to look up the standings quickly for a particular racer. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for Step 10. The last tab is for awards. As with the other tabs, the display of this tab is affected by what you have selected in the software settings screen. This is for your design awards and any speed awards that are not directly tied to the race standings. These can be displayed to your audience during your awards ceremony, or you can print out award certificates for these. Using the awards feature is purely optional. The functionality of this tab is very similar to that of the registration tab. The left side is the list of groups and subgroups. Since awards don't have to be tied to a specific group or subgroup, there is an All option that you can select. Before your race, you can define all of your design and special speed awards. Then after awards are determined, you can update who the winner of each is. Assigning winners to awards is optional. If you are printing out an award certificate and there is no assigned winner for it, the certificate will print with a line on it. There you will write in the winner's information. This way you can print out your certificates ahead of the race, if you wish. Up on the small toolbar you do have icons to add, edit and delete awards. There are also icons to raise or lower an award's priority. Priority is the relative importance of an award that affects the order that the awards are revealed to your audience during your awards ceremony. For example, if you want to display third place first, then second place, and then first place for an award not related to speed. Over on the right section is the Show Award Types section. This allows you to filter the list of awards based on the selected award type. The Assign Winners button is available if you choose to update your awards with the winners once your design judging is complete. If using the voting feature of our Derby web software, you can view the voting results and accept them to assign the winners to the applicable awards. In the Audience Display section, clicking on the Awards button will open up the screen where you can display the awards to your audience. The awards data section shows some totals provided for easy reference. These are based on what you have selected over on the left section. You can use the Import button to import your awards list from a CSV file. The software does come with a sample awards list CSV file that you can use and tailor to your needs. On this tab, there is also an Export button to export your awards to a CSV file. We will go into more detail on this tab in the tutorial video for step 10. In this video, we gave you a very basic overview of the main screen. The toolbar, at the top of the main screen, gives you easy access to several features. Major features are broken into separate tabs. The Overview tab gives you a handy reference on the proper sequence of using the software and shortcuts to jump to the desired step or location. The remainder of the tabs will help you structure and run your race, and then to do your awards ceremony to display your race standings and design awards to your audience. The main screen also gives you access to a variety of reports. To get a more in-depth demonstration of a particular step, please make sure to view the tutorial video for that step.